What does he have? What's at stake for these guys tomorrow? What is the thing that Donald Trump, if he could mess up and really screw up royally, what would it be for him to do? What would he do for the debate tomorrow night? How would he do that?
Well, there's not much he can do. He's given such a wide berth. He's so outrageous that he would have to do something triply, exponentially outrageous to knock himself out or even to hurt himself. I think people are so interested in, are so attracted to him because we are at a crisis. We face multiple existential threats to the nation. Trump is perceived as a man of action, as a man that's unafraid to go after political correctness and the establishment. He's not tied to the establishment. You know, I was thinking about this. Bush sends out all these emails saying, look at my record compared to Trump's. I'm a conservative. Trump's been liberal. Well, true. Trump has has favored some big government policies in the past, going after the rich and various other things. And I agree with that. And he was too friendly with Obama. But people aren't looking at records anymore, because you can have the best, a Republican with the best record, and none of these guys with records have been effective. And so nobody's believing that Republican people can do what needs to be done. The only person I think that's been out there that's taken on the establishment from within the establishment is Ted Cruz, and to some extent Rand Paul, but Rand has not taken off at all. So it's pointless to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the Rand Paul revolution that we saw coming up on following up the momentum for his father's presidential bid, that seems to have dissipated. I mean, Rand Paul, nobody even talks about him in the 2016.
Well, after all, libertarianism is pretty marginalized. Pure libertarians don't take off. And Rand is not just that, but his main issue is NSA spying. Do you think that's really on my mind right now, NSA spying? I'm worried about the debt. I'm worried about the unfunded $100 trillion unfunded liabilities. I'm worried about the jihad. I'm worried about ISIS. I'm worried about the invasion, all these other things that really threaten the United States right now.
Now, Jeb Bush has a huge war chest. He went into this before Donald Trump even had announced. He went into this being the front runner. He has been all spring, all winter, the perceived front runner. And he gets into it, and he really, with Donald Trump's presence in the primary, you really see the lack of spark, I think, that Jeb Bush has. He's not a very charismatic individual, and I think because of that, he has a lot of trouble connecting with people, which I think is going to make it a lot harder, being that he's going to be on stage with a bunch of people tomorrow for this debate.
Well, he's quintessentially establishment. He's tied to W, and I love W. A lot of things about George W. Bush, God-fearing, a great, honorable man, but he did grow government on the spending side, and he had this no child left behind thing. He's perceived as a big government guy to the base, and the base rules right now. The base no longer trusts the establishment. So during this primary season, anyone who's with the establishment, who's irreversibly tied to the establishment, which Jeb is, he can spend all the money in the world. He wants to talk about his record. He's not going to convince people that he's truly going to take on the establishment, which, by the way, has just punished the base when it's tried to do things. It's belittled the Tea Party. It's denigrated us. It has shown no energy and no fight in itself at all except to attack us. It will never attack Obama. It only goes after the base. People don't believe these guys anymore. So Bush can spend all the money he wants. I don't dislike Jeb, by the way, but when he goes and talks Spanish, he's just basically flipping off the base. When he talks about immigration and how we are not loving and it's an act of love and he's compassionate and we're not, that's flipping the finger to the base. I really don't think he's going to resonate. He can spend $100 million unless he changes his tune. Here's what they need to do. I was thinking about this before we came on. What you say, what are the people going to do to knock Trump down? They're not going to knock him down. They're going to have to raise themselves. And how are they going to raise themselves? Only by going after Obama and the establishment. The Republican establishment, Obama, not Trump. He's not the enemy right now. He may not be a strong conservative, and I'm concerned about that, as I wrote in the column, but he's not the enemy. He's a guy, a man of action, who will take extreme measures. He's perceived as taking extreme measures. We are so far along the continuum to national ruin. The public, the base knows we have to take drastic action to go back. Trump is perceived as one of the few people that with the will and the ability and the energy to do it. I think others of those guys can do it. I think Cruz, who is my guy, could do it. But he's still waiting in the wings. I think wisely he's positioning himself correctly in case Trump later implodes a little bit. But that doesn't seem too likely right now.